What if, from the moment the train begins to move, every choice is no longer yours? There is no chance to change direction, no room to turn back, and every choice is left behind. Some railway lines cling to towering cliffs, cross vast oceans, and cut through landscapes where laying a single rail once seemed impossible. Other routes weave through crowded neighborhoods, where front doors and market stalls stand only inches away from the passing train. Along these journeys, every train places its absolute trust in every meter of track ahead. Welcome to a journey exploring the most extreme railway routes still operating on Earth. The Bernina Express is a timeless railway wonder connecting Switzerland and Italy, carrying travelers into a journey through some of the most dazzling, snow-covered dreams in Europe. This legendary train proudly holds UNESCO World Heritage status thanks to its daring rail architecture and panoramic curved windows that open wide mountain views. The most unique part of the ride is the magical change of nature as the train crosses towering peaks filled with bright white snow. Within only a few short hours, the icy world of ancient glaciers gives way to Mediterranean valleys glowing with warm sunlight. By the end of this emotional journey, travelers realize it is not just an ordinary train ride, but one of life's most spectacular visual experiences. Mathurin Hill Railway is not merely a railway line, but a remarkable journey that follows steep mountain edges to reach a plateau where motor vehicles are not permitted. Moving at a gentle pace that allows passengers to absorb every detail of the surrounding wilderness, the small train winds through dense forests far removed from the noise of industrial life. Without modern tunnels to shorten the route, the journey passes along narrow curves beside deep valleys, where every movement of the train highlights the fragile relationship between humans and nature. What makes the experience unusual is its unhurried rhythm, as each mile reveals a gradual transition from tropical woodland to the cooler environment of the upland plateau. The complete absence of motor vehicles in the town of Matharan turns this railway into the final connection between a peaceful retreat and the modern world beyond. Small train cars appear almost hidden among towering trees, creating scenes that resemble illustrations from adventure novels written more than a century ago. The Mount Washington Cog Railway is the first mountain climbing railway in the world to operate using a strange and challenging gear mechanism. These trains must overcome a grade of 37.4% by using a complex gear system instead of relying on normal friction between iron wheels. This bold engineering technique transformed a project that was once considered a crazy joke into an incredible transportation achievement in history. The entire route is supported on a system of precarious trestles where even the smallest engineering mistake would lead to the danger of falling into a deep abyss. Passengers face a true survival experience as the train slowly climbs to the summit at 6,288 feet, full of sharp granite rock hazards. Despite the tragic accidents of the past, this railway line still stubbornly exists as a symbol of efforts to conquer the harsh natural environment. Trennerless Newbies is not merely a train ride, but a journey through the clouds that carries travelers to an elevation of about 13,850 feet in the heart of the majestic Andes Mountains. Towering viaducts stretching across deep canyons make this railway a remarkable engineering achievement that seems to challenge gravity and turn the dream of reaching the sky into reality. The route passes through colorful mountain landscapes marked by vivid bands of rock, where the scenery shifts from green valleys to dry and rugged high plateaus. As the train moves along tracks high above the surrounding terrain, the boundary between earth and sky appears to fade, creating the sensation of floating among the clouds. The contrast between the cold steel of human technology and the raw grandeur of the Andes creates a unique appeal that continues to captivate adventurous travelers. If you think you have already traveled through the most adventurous places, prepare yourself to board the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad, the highest and most rugged steam railroad in America. This steel monster from the previous century roars loudly, releases dark smoke, and pulls you away from the modern world into breathtaking wilderness. The most terrifying, yet fascinating moment comes when the train clings to steep cliffs and slowly moves near the edge of a nearly 700-foot-deep abyss. This route has an unusual change of terrain, where dry desert landscapes fall behind and give way to dense pine forests and windy mountain valleys. You will enter a mysterious space marked by time, where dark hand-dug tunnels through the mountains blend with the train whistle echoing against lonely cliffs. Leave a comment if you are brave enough to sit on this deadly train ride, and do not forget to follow me as we explore the next crazy destinations together. Maeklong Railway Market is one of the most bizarre railway lines in the world, where heavy steel trains pass directly through a busy market. With a length of about 328 feet, this trading area forces merchants to pack their goods away in an instant when trains arrive. The distance between the train cars and the stalls beside them is only measured in inches, which creates absolute precision during every daily operation. Every day there are 8 trains passing through, forcing people to adapt completely to the constant presence of heavy machinery right on the ground. Blurring the boundary between the railway and the market space makes this route a testament to the extraordinary adaptability of human beings. The train drivers always maintain slow speeds to ensure safety while creating an impressive scene that leaves travelers in absolute amazement. All efforts to maintain this railway line remain a complex technical problem regarding public space management under extremely limited conditions today. Hanoi Train Street is the most bizarre destination on the planet, where giant trains glide past houses just a few feet away. This railway line was built in 1902, creating a dangerous living space right next to the active train tracks. Trains move continuously through the crowded residential area, forcing residents to clear tables, chairs, and belongings to the doorsteps. Passengers on the train can clearly see every detail inside the cafes located along both sides of the narrow tracks. Despite facing high accident risks, the intersection between railway infrastructure and human life has persisted for over 1 century. The train drivers must focus intensely to control travel speed in the narrow space to ensure safety for tourists taking pictures. The existence of this location proves the massive challenge in managing urban traffic safety amidst modern travel demands. The Fianarantsoa Côte Est Railway is not just an ordinary rail line, but a unique lifeline crossing the untouched tropical rainforests of Madagascar. Built in the last century, this legendary railway remains the only vital link helping remote villages survive, deep within the vast forest. The journey begins in the cool highlands, where an aging train slowly winds between steep and dangerous rock walls. Soon after, the landscape opens before your eyes, with dozens of powerful waterfalls and wide green tea plantations stretching across the hills. Its greatest difference is local life itself, as the train turns into a land-based floating market whenever it stops at small stations. This slow expedition ends on the eastern coast, leaving a deep memory of a raw, authentic, and fascinating Madagascar. The Qinghai-Tibet Railway appears like a steel lifeline stretching toward the sky, connecting some of the most isolated regions on Earth through the achievements of modern engineering. Crossing Tangala Pass at more than 16,600 feet above sea level, the train travels across vast areas of permanent frozen ground on its journey toward the heart of the Tibetan Plateau. Large train windows reveal sweeping views of a seemingly endless high-altitude landscape where herds of yaks quietly graze across open plains beneath an immense sky. An onboard oxygen supply system helps passengers remain comfortable while enjoying remarkable scenery that includes bright salt lakes reflecting sunlight across the plateau. The combination of advanced construction techniques and protected wildlife crossings for Tibetan antelope stands as a powerful example of balancing infrastructure development with respect for nature. If you want to test the limits of your own survival, dare to board the Mauritania Railway, one of the longest, harshest, and most dangerous iron ore trains on Earth. This steel giant stretches for more than 1 mile and tears through the silence of the Sahara Desert, carrying passengers on an extraordinary journey far removed from modern civilization. The most intense and unforgettable part of the experience is riding directly atop open freight cars, exposed to strong winds and clouds of iron ore dust beneath a scorching desert sky. The landscape along the route possesses a rugged and captivating beauty, where immense seas of sand extend endlessly toward the horizon and shift in color throughout the day. When darkness arrives, the desert cold settles across the vast wilderness, while an astonishing view of the Milky Way shines brilliantly overhead against the night sky. Pamban Railway Bridge is not only a remarkable engineering achievement, but also a proud ribbon of steel that stands against the powerful waves of the vast Indian Ocean. This unique railway line serves as a graceful connection between the dry mainland town of Mandapam and the sacred island of Rameswaram. As the train slowly leaves the shore behind, passengers are immediately filled with a mixture of excitement and amazement, feeling as though they are suspended above the sea. Through the windows, the immense blue expanse of ocean and sky appears to merge into a single horizon, while the sound of waves echoes beneath the weathered railway structure. Have you ever dreamed of a journey through time, where the Lanzhou-Xinjiang Railway stands like a ribbon of steel that brings the ancient Silk Road back to life? This legendary railway opened a new chapter in history by linking the extraordinary landscapes of northwestern China with the rhythm of the modern world. Following the route of a trade corridor that flourished for centuries, the train carries passengers across vast deserts, swept by powerful winds and challenging conditions. Just as your eyes become accustomed to endless stretches of sunlit sand, the scenery suddenly transforms into breathtaking mountains covered with brilliant white snow. This remarkable expedition leaves a lasting impression and inspires adventurous travelers to continue exploring some of the most extraordinary landscapes on Earth. Liziba Station is a bold engineering masterpiece where the electric train runs directly through the heart of a 19-story apartment building. Designing a separate structure between the track system and the residential area helps eliminate vibrations to ensure safety for everyone living there. The image of the train moving continuously between the floors creates a strange visual scene that resembles scenes from a science fiction movie. Even though it faces complex infrastructure pressure, this station still operates stably as one of the most important traffic hubs in the city. The creative construction solution has turned this place into a unique architectural symbol, which proves the human ability to overcome all limits. Tourists are often attracted by the experience of watching the train dash through the building, a clear proof of the harmony between traffic and architecture. The solid concrete pillars, deep under the building foundation, are the key factors for the sustainable existence of this special project. Nariz del Diablo appears as an ultimate challenge of railway engineering, as it must conquer a vertical stone wall with a daring zigzag track system. This route was built on extremely rugged terrain with a terrifying slope, forcing the train to perform continuous forward and backward maneuvers to pass. This project shocked history when it cost thousands of lives during the painful construction process, making this place a symbol of perseverance. Within a very short distance, the train must descend more than 1,640 feet, creating an extremely dangerous and dramatic experience moving on cliffs. Maintaining this railway system requires technical teams to check the condition of the tracks every day to prevent the risk of rocks rolling into the operating railway line. Despite facing constant risks from the weak geological structure, Nariz del Diablo remains a testament to human efforts to aggressively intervene in wild nature. Famous as a steel ribbon challenging nature, the Hindenburg Dam is a unique railway wonder connecting mainland Germany with the beautiful island of Sylt in the North Sea. This great artificial structure was built firmly to break the isolation of the noble island, allowing huge trains to cross the vast ocean. On this single route, the journey becomes highly unusual as all road vehicles must climb onto special train cars to cross the sea. The uniqueness of the trip lies in how the surrounding landscape changes completely with the rhythm of the rising and falling tides each day. When the tide goes out, a vast area of muddy flats and salt marshes belonging to the Wadden Sea appears, painting a truly magnificent wild natural scene. The Jungfrau Railway is a legendary mountain journey that carries travelers through the heart of the Alps to the top of Europe at an elevation of about 11,332 feet. Featuring more than 4 miles of tunnels carved through solid limestone. This railway stands as a remarkable engineering achievement that opened once inaccessible peaks to visitors. During a relatively short ride, the scenery transforms from green valley meadows to the brilliant ice and snowfields of the vast Aletsch Glacier. The profound silence at the summit, surrounded only by rock, snow, and drifting clouds, creates a mysterious atmosphere that feels like a gateway to the top of the world. Have you ever experienced the Nilgiri Mountain Railway, a historic steam train journey through the mist-covered mountains of India, where every foot of track represents a remarkable engineering achievement from the 19th century? The locomotive echoes with its distinctive whistle through ancient forests as it slowly climbs steep slopes using a unique rack railway system carrying travelers on a nostalgic journey through time. As the train winds through dark tunnels and crosses lofty stone bridges, passengers can feel their small place within the vast natural landscape of the Blue Mountains. Endless tea plantations spread across the hills like folds on the surface of the earth, creating a vibrant green backdrop that contrasts dramatically with the white mist surrounding the mountain peaks. Known by the haunting name Death Railway, the Burma Railway is a historical testimony written in blood, where wild nature meets the tragic memory of the Second World War. This extraordinary engineering project was rapidly built by the Japanese Empire to open a land supply route, exhausting the labor of hundreds of thousands of prisoners of war and forced workers. They had to use the most basic tools to cut through massive sandstone cliffs, creating deep passages through dark and barren mountains. Along that brutal route, wooden railway sections were built in dangerous positions, clinging to vertical rock walls above fierce, rushing rivers. The decay of rusty sleepers left alone through the years creates a sharp contrast with the endless green of the surrounding tropical jungle. Today, towering steel bridges crossing wide, calm rivers still stand silently as historical witnesses, telling a story of resilient survival. Shinkansen is a great survival railway wonder, built on one of the most geologically unstable and dangerous regions on the planet today. This system possesses an extremely modern early earthquake warning network, which is capable of automatically cutting off power to all trains within seconds. Even though it must pass through rugged mountainous areas, along with thousands of miles of challenging tracks, the bullet train has never caused a single passenger fatality. The unique long aerodynamic nose design not only helps increase speed to 200 miles per hour, but also eliminates high pressure inside tunnels. Engineers have installed thousands of landslide detection devices along the route, which helps prevent any unusual obstacles from causing accidents to the train. The entire viaduct infrastructure is reinforced with solid steel plates, which helps the structures stand firm even when strong geological tremors occur. This is truly the pinnacle of engineering, where humans conquer harsh nature through precision and the world's leading safety technologies. The Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad stands as a massive engineering achievement, where vintage steam trains conquer the majestic San Juan Mountains. This railway features a track gauge of 3 feet, which allows the train to snake along steep cliffs with abysses hundreds of feet deep below. Hundreds of workers completed this project in 9 months at a huge cost, turning the location into a living museum of American railroad history. Giant steam locomotives must operate at full capacity to overcome the 2.5% grade, creating an extremely intense and dangerous travel experience. Engineering crews work constantly to check the track foundation before every trip to prevent the risk of falling rocks that could occur at any moment. Maintaining 19th century technology on such rugged terrain has turned this route into an impossible challenge that remains truly fascinating for all of humanity. The Kalka-Shimla Railway in India is a bold engineering wonder, where small train cars cross dramatic cliff edges along the steep slopes of the Himalayas. This heritage railway twists through more than 100 dark tunnels and hundreds of stone arch bridges, where the track seems to hang above deep valleys. Its narrow rails cling to tilted mountain slopes, showing an extreme construction challenge where the tiny train still faces landslides and strong winds from the peaks. This journey is not for the faint-hearted, as every sharp bend reveals frightening open space below and makes passengers hold their breath. The Georgetown Loop Railroad appears as an engineering masterpiece winding through the Rocky Mountains, where historic steam trains continue to echo the spirit of the region's prosperous mining era. Featuring a remarkable spiral loop design, this railway overcomes steep mountain slopes by crossing deep valleys on towering iron bridges that showcase impressive 19th-century engineering. As the train slowly rounds its famous curves, passengers can often look back and see sections of the track they recently traveled far below, creating a striking sense of scale and perspective. Clouds of white steam rising from the locomotive drift through fragrant pine forests, forming a nostalgic scene that contrasts beautifully with the rugged granite landscape surrounding the route. Have you ever experienced the Kuranda Scenic Railway, a legendary train journey through the ancient rainforests of Australia, where every foot of track tells a story of overcoming rugged, natural terrain? The vintage wooden train slowly passes through mountain tunnels and across lofty bridges, carrying travelers on a nostalgic voyage through the heart of a lush green wilderness. Waterfalls plunge from towering cliffs and create drifting mist around the route, making the train appear as though it is floating through the sky while crossing deep gorges. From the darkness of rocky tunnels to the brilliant scenery of tropical valleys, the landscape changes dramatically and reveals the extraordinary power of untamed nature. The blend of the train whistle echoing through the mountains and the vibrant sounds of the rainforest creates a captivating experience that highlights the enduring beauty of these remote lands. Known as the legendary toy train, the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway of India is far more than a means of transportation, serving as a timeless gateway into the past. This steam-powered railway, operating for more than a century, carries passengers away from modern life on a remarkable journey through the clouds. One of its most distinctive features is the use of famous loops and zigzag reverses that allow the train to climb the steep slopes of the mighty Himalayas. Along the narrow gauge tracks, the scenery transforms dramatically from dense tropical forests to mist-covered tea plantations stretching across rolling hills. At certain points, the train passes so close to homes and colorful market stalls that travelers can almost feel the energy of daily local life. As the railway reaches its highest sections, breathtaking views unfold across the snow-covered peaks of Kanchenjunga, bringing this unforgettable adventure to a spectacular conclusion. The magnificent Hejaz Railway is a legendary route through the desert, where heroic history blends with the footsteps of religious pilgrims from the last century. This project was built by the Ottoman Empire to shorten the difficult journey for believers from more than 1 month to only a few short days. To serve the railway, ancient builders raised strong stone stations and proud bridges that reached deep into the barren and remote ground. Ironically, this solid transport lifeline became a fierce battlefield during the Arab Revolt and was heavily damaged by bombs and warfare. Today, rusty sections of track lie alone among desert dust, like silent historical witnesses retelling the story of a golden era. Around these ruins is a unique landscape of giant sandstone cliffs and bright red sand stretches that look like the surface of Mars. Do you know about Pilatus Railway, the steepest cogwheel railway on Earth in Switzerland, where the train appears to climb directly toward the sky along dramatic mountain cliffs? This journey is not only an engineering achievement, but also a remarkable conquest of difficult terrain, where every section of track seems to cross the boundary between the ground and the clouds. As the train leaves behind green alpine meadows and advances toward towering limestone walls, passengers can truly appreciate the immense scale of the Alps. On gradients reaching nearly 48%, it feels as though the train is suspended above the landscape, creating a powerful mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. Once the railway rises beyond the surrounding clouds, the valley below unfolds like a miniature painting, highlighting the commanding presence of Mount Pilatus above the Swiss countryside. The Ghan is far more than a train journey, standing as a living legend and a remarkable ribbon of steel that crosses the untamed heart of the Australian continent. This iconic train begins its route from the sunlit northern coast and travels proudly across vast remote landscapes toward the windswept regions of the south. From the comfort of a window seat, passengers can witness an extraordinary transformation as lush tropical forests gradually give way to the striking red deserts of the interior. The harsh environment of the outback becomes a breathtaking work of natural art, filled with ancient mountain ranges and endless stretches of sun-scorched sand. When darkness arrives, the remote wilderness is transformed into a brilliant display of light as millions of stars shine across the clear desert sky. The Taklamakan Desert Railway Ring is the world's first railway loop built around a desert, a technological achievement that crosses a legendary land once believed to be a place from which no traveler would return. This region contains one of the largest shifting sand landscapes on Earth, where towering dunes constantly change shape under the force of relentless desert winds. Its most unusual sight is the image of modern trains racing across an endless sea of golden sand, creating a striking contrast between advanced technology and the vastness of nature. Every mile of track represents an ongoing battle against encroaching sand, supported by extensive protective barriers and vegetation systems that stretch for hundreds of miles. An eerie silence dominates the desert surroundings, where the horizon remains uninterrupted by signs of life, and only the meeting of blue sky and endless dunes fills the landscape. The Nordland Railway, or Nordlandsbanen, is a 453-mile engineering masterpiece running through the heart of Norway, offering one of the most spectacular train journeys on Earth. Leaving the historic Trondheim station, the train begins a magical 10-hour journey where constantly changing natural scenery unfolds before the eyes of travelers. The early views of fertile farming valleys and dense forests gradually give way to the wild, barren, and challenging beauty of northern European highlands. Its most unusual highlight is the moment the train officially crosses the Arctic Circle, where vegetation nearly disappears beneath the cold influence of ancient glaciers. In this far northern region, visitors may witness the midnight sun in summer or the brilliant northern lights dancing across the winter sky. Stoßbahn in Switzerland is the steepest funicular railway in the world, where uniquely designed cylindrical cabins challenge gravity as they climb directly toward the high mountain's summit. Reaching a gradient of about 110%, this system is far more than transportation and stands as an impressive achievement of modern engineering in the Alps. As the train leaves the valley, passengers experience the sensation of floating among dramatic cliffs, while panoramic views open across the deep blue lake below. Its most remarkable feature is the self-leveling cabin system that keeps the floor balanced throughout the journey, allowing travelers to enjoy the surrounding scenery in complete comfort. Looking down from above, the traditional wooden houses of the car-free village of Stews appear as tiny, peaceful dots surrounded by the breathtaking landscape of snow-covered mountains. The White Pass and Yukon route is a railway built through sacrifice and the pursuit of gold, where historic trains still thunder through some of the most rugged mountain gorges along the frontier. Clinging to steep mountainsides with remarkable grades, the train carries passengers across the legendary landscape once traveled by fortune seekers during the Klondike Gold Rush. This journey unfolds like a living documentary, rising from dense green forests to snow-covered peaks and sparkling glaciers that shine like crystal. Every narrow wooden bridge crossed by the railway stands as a lasting reminder of the determination required to overcome the harsh wilderness during the late 19th century. The contrast between peaceful hanging waterfalls and the echoing whistle of the train creates a nostalgic atmosphere filled with both beauty and mystery. Abandoned traces of old gold mining camps resting beside the tracks serve as reminders of a time when wealth and survival were weighed against each other in a demanding frontier. The Brucio Spiral Viaduct stands as a daring masterpiece of railway engineering, where trains perform a breathtaking circular performance amidst magnificent mountain slopes. To conquer the harsh elevation changes, engineers constructed a complete stone loop with a total length of approximately 360 feet. This 360-degree spiral design allows trains to overcome dangerous inclines without needing support from complex gear systems. By maintaining a stable grade, the structure helps carriages operate smoothly through the extremely tight curve while ensuring safety. Viewed from a distance, the 9 stone arches connected seamlessly create the unique image of a train running around itself. This is a symbol of the perfect combination between human intellect and rugged terrain, making this place a fascinating challenge for all railway systems. Trans-Gabon Railway is a legendary rail line that cuts through the dense equatorial forests of Africa, offering a remarkable journey into a world of mystery, wildlife, and natural beauty. This cross-country railway serves as the primary transportation corridor of Gabon, linking busy Atlantic Ocean ports with resource-rich regions deep within the interior. The most fascinating part of the trip is the opportunity to observe untouched ecosystems as the train speeds through vast expanses of lush tropical rainforest. From the window, passengers may witness a wild landscape where rare animals such as forest elephants and great apes can sometimes be seen near the railway. The route also crosses roaring rivers and wide savannas, creating an ever-changing panorama that showcases the extraordinary diversity of the African environment. The Carajás Railroad in Brazil currently stands as a remarkably harsh transport system with the capacity to operate freight trains stretching up to 2 miles. These massive steel monsters transport huge volumes of iron ore through tropical forests that were never intended for industrial transportation. Each train is connected by 330 rail cars, which creates a terrifying pressure on both the track infrastructure and the viaducts along the line. Modern construction engineering must face the challenge of maintaining safety for trains weighing tens of thousands of pounds as they move across rugged terrain. The track system is designed with a special wide gauge to ensure maximum stability for the heavy iron ore trains that run without stopping. Although facing many complex technical risks, this line still maintains passenger services alongside its enormous freight transport operations. The Shanghai Maglev train is the pinnacle of high-speed transportation as it operates based on a unique magnetic levitation principle instead of using wheels. The elevated track system is built solidly with thousands of concrete piles that are 230 feet deep to maintain stability on soft alluvial soil. The train hovers 0.5 inches above the track and moves at an incredible commercial speed of up to 300 miles per hour over a 19 miles route. The train cars are specifically designed with a T-shaped guide system that wraps around the track to ensure absolute safety when moving at extremely high speeds. The total lack of physical friction between the train and the track helps this vessel create a smooth travel experience that is unprecedented in the railway industry. This is a testament to the perfect conquest of technical limits that traditional railway systems are simply unable to achieve. The Alaska Railroad is far more than a transportation route, offering an immersive journey that awakens every sense while traveling through the proud wilderness of America's last frontier. This legendary railway stretches for nearly 470 miles, linking remote and rugged regions that remain inaccessible to many conventional road networks. Inside bright glass, dome railcars, passengers are treated to constantly changing panoramic views, with vast natural landscapes unfolding across the horizon in every direction. Snow-covered mountain ranges rise dramatically above the terrain, creating a striking contrast with the vivid blue colors of ancient glaciers flowing into broad valleys below. The scenery becomes even more dramatic as the train crosses high bridges suspended above deep canyons, adding a sense of adventure to an already unforgettable wilderness experience. The Listowel and Ballybunion Railway was the first commercial monorail passenger line in the world with a completely different technical design. Instead of using two rails on the ground, the entire system used a single rail supported by steel A-frame structures. The lack of modern safety brakes and the unstable structure made this system a typical example of major engineering mistakes. If passengers on one side of the carriage were too heavy, the train driver had to request adjustments to ensure absolute safety. The train carriages were hung on both sides like pack saddle baskets, requiring all passengers and cargo to be perfectly balanced in weight. After 36 years of operation, the inconvenience, along with potential risks, forced this railway line to close permanently in 1924. The Trans-Siberian Railway in Russia is known as a great lifeline of humanity, stretching more than 5,700 miles and linking Europe with Asia across some of the wildest lands on Earth. This record-breaking railway carries passengers into a journey beyond time, where quiet train cars cut through the frozen mist of mysterious Siberia. Along the route, travelers are overwhelmed by the endless taiga forest, where billions of birch and old pine trees stand silently like ancient statues. Outside the windows, the scenery constantly shifts from majestic snow-covered mountains to vast, open plains, making every traveler feel incredibly small. The harsh terrain forced people to build tracks across permafrost, creating a powerful contrast between human engineering and the force of nature. Beyond ordinary transportation, this railway is a sanctuary for dreamers, where every mile quietly tells a story about the eternal power of Mother Earth. The Shanghai Maglev train is the pinnacle of high-speed transportation as it operates based on a unique magnetic levitation principle instead of using wheels. The train hovers 0.5 inches above the track and moves at an incredible commercial speed of up to 300 miles per hour over a 19 miles route. The elevated track system is built solidly with thousands of concrete piles that are 230 feet deep to maintain stability on soft alluvial soil. The train cars are specifically designed with a T-shaped guide system that wraps around the track to ensure absolute safety when moving at extremely high speeds. The total lack of physical friction between the train and the track helps this vessel create a smooth travel experience that is unprecedented in the railway industry. This is a testament to the perfect conquest of technical limits that traditional railway systems are simply unable to achieve. The Flom line appears like a steel thread stretched across the steep mountains of Norway, where every mile of track carries passengers deeper into one of the country's most remarkable natural wonders. Climbing an extraordinary gradient through a series of unique spiral tunnels, this railway stands as a powerful example of human determination to overcome challenging terrain. Waterfalls cascading close to the train windows create a dramatic natural performance, making travelers feel fully immersed in the surrounding landscape. From the deep blue waters of the fjord below, the journey gradually rises toward the cooler mountain environment near Myrdal, offering the sensation of passing through multiple seasons in a short distance. Every curve along the mountainside reveals breathtaking views into the valley beneath, where the untouched beauty of the Nordic wilderness stretches across the horizon. The combination of advanced railway engineering and towering rock formations has transformed this route into an unforgettable experience for adventure seekers from around the world. As the train moves past bright red wooden houses scattered across open meadows, passengers often feel as though they have entered a peaceful storybook landscape far removed from modern life. The Kurobi Gorge Railway is a unique mechanical wonder winding through the deepest V-shaped gorge in Japan, offering an unforgettable adventure into one of the country's most rugged, natural landscapes. Departing from Unazuki Station, the small open-air train carries passengers away from the modern world and into an environment of remarkable wilderness. The train moves slowly along towering cliffs where dense, old-growth forests surround the crystal-clear, turquoise waters of the Kurobi River far below. The journey becomes even more dramatic as the train repeatedly crosses bright red bridges suspended above deep chasms and passes through dozens of cool, dark rock tunnels. The Penang Hill Railway currently holds the world record for the steepest funicular railway system through tunnels, which presents a massive challenge for engineers. Instead of using individual engines like standard trains, this entire massive system operates based on a single steel cable that supports heavy loads. These 16-ton carriages must climb steep tracks where an incline of 27.9 degrees creates immense pressure on the rails. The dense tropical terrain causes the technical structure of the tracks to constantly face risks of landslides and rapid metal corrosion. Engineers must continuously maintain the emergency braking system to ensure absolute safety whenever the train travels along the high mountain cliffs. This remains a testament to human persistence when attempting to conquer nature through precise and durable mechanical designs. The ferrocarril Chihuahua al Pacifico, known as El Chepe, is far more than a railway, serving as a steel ribbon that cuts through the untamed heart of Mexico. Stretching for more than 400 miles, this remarkable route pushes engineering limits by winding through 86 rock tunnels and crossing 37 towering bridges. Beyond these impressive structures, the train carries passengers into Copper Canyon, a vast network of copper-colored gorges that reaches depths greater than those of the Grand Canyon. Through the windows, travelers witness an extraordinary transition from snow-covered pine forests to lush tropical valleys filled with green vegetation and fruit-bearing trees. The slow journey along steep canyon edges also offers a rare connection to the culture of the Raramuri people, the legendary long-distance runners who have lived among these mountains for generations. Although the trip ends on the Pacific coast, memories of dramatic landscapes, daring curves, and the spirit of Mexico's wild frontier remain long after the journey is over. Rocky Mountaineer stands as one of the most challenging tourist railway routes in the world by conquering rugged mountain terrain with peak engineering. To overcome extreme slopes, engineers constructed a spiral tunnel system that helps the train climb 50 feet through the mountain heart. The construction of this route required thousands of workers to face massive risks while cutting through steep cliffs using primitive tools. The modern glass dome carriage structure is designed so passengers can fully observe deep canyons along with impressive glaciers. This is a clear testament to the effort of humanity to conquer nature, despite facing countless technical challenges and hidden dangers. Malmbanan is the northernmost electrified railway in the world, where modern engineering must confront the wild nature. The IORE locomotives possess 14,500 horsepower, helping to pull ore trains 2,460 feet long through extremely difficult and challenging terrain. This railway is designed to withstand an axle load of up to 66,139 pounds, creating extreme pressure on the entire system of precarious viaducts. Engineers built massive wooden and steel snow sheds along the route to protect trains from the risk of avalanches with destructive power. This railway operates on land with permafrost, causing the rail foundation to frequently change structure, which poses a risk of safety loss. Maintaining operations on sharp curves and steep gradients requires the technical team to continuously perform extremely rigorous inspection measures. Semmering Railway shattered every physical limit to become the first railway in the world to successfully conquer sheer mountain cliffs. Engineers once considered moving trains across this dangerous terrain impossible during the initial survey and design process. This project is a perfect combination of 15 mountain tunnels and 16 massive stone viaducts, forming a bizarre path. To complete this 25.5 miles long railway, thousands of workers had to toil hard and face the risk of death. Trains must overcome an elevation difference of 1,509 feet, while winding through sharp curves along limestone cliffs. Thanks to unique construction techniques using natural stone arches, this project became the first World Heritage Site in the field of railway transportation. Every effort to conquer nature here has turned this place into one of the most grueling and impressive railway routes on the planet. The legendary Outaniqua Chu-Zhou steam train is not only a nostalgic ride, but a timeless heritage journey that carries travelers into a truly unique South African experience. This proud railway follows the famous Garden Route, running beside rugged cliffs as it links some of the wildest and windiest bays along the Atlantic coast. Sitting by memory-stained windows, visitors are amazed as the train seems to fly above the sea while crossing the dramatic Caimans River Bridge. The visual experience reaches its peak through the stunning contrast between towering rock walls on one side and the endless ocean throwing white foam on the other. Abano Pass is known as the most horrific death road in the Caucasus region because it owns a record height of 9,272 feet above sea level. This dirt road completely lacks even a single meter of protective barriers to stop vehicles from plunging straight into the thousands of feet deep abyss. Vertically steep cliffs that were crudely carved are constantly weathered, causing massive loose boulders to be ready to collapse down onto the road. The danger multiplies significantly when drivers are forced to steer their vehicles directly through wild waterfalls pouring straight down from high mountain peaks. The punishingly steep terrain constantly forces heavy vehicles to move forward and backward multiple times right next to the cliff edge just to pass the sharp hairpin turns. Just one minor mistake in reflexes caused by the lack of oxygen here is enough to instantly turn your mountain pass journey into a death sentence. Passage du Gois is the most bizarre sea road in the world because of its ability to disappear completely under the ocean every day. This natural 2.6 miles road connects the mainland to Noirmoutier Island, creating a dramatic tidal separation phenomenon. When the tide rises, the entire road surface is submerged up to 13 feet deep, turning this area into a dangerous vast body of water. Traffic participants have only a narrow time window of about 1.5 hours each time the tide recedes to complete their travel. Tall rescue columns are erected along the road for trapped people to climb up and take shelter when sudden high waves occur. Ignoring the warning signs here will cause vehicles to be surrounded by salt water and severely damaged in a very short time. The D915 road, the most dangerous route on the planet, represents the ultimate terror for any driver wishing to challenge death. With the road width in many sections measuring a mere 10 feet, vehicles must move extremely cautiously right next to the deep abyss. The entire journey lacks any protective barrier systems, so a single small driving mistake will lead to a tragedy. Loose cliffs continuously collapse, and the slippery dirt and stone road surface drastically reduces tire traction. The extreme harshness turns this place into a deadly gamble, where the boundary between life and death is measured only in inches. Titsiantechka Pass stands tall as a challenging engineering feat that connects the plains with rugged semi-desert areas. This pass possesses an elevation reaching 7,234 feet above sea level, along with more than 100 extremely sharp, hairpin turns on mountain terrain. Travelers conquering this route often face steep cliffs and deep valleys located along the high mountain slopes. The uniqueness of this place is the geological patches that change suddenly from vibrant red colors to the white of limestone at high, steep sections. Although it is an important arterial traffic route, the pristine and isolated beauty here still makes anyone who sets foot there feel overwhelmed. Karnali Highway is known as a death road, with sheer cliffs and deep ravines waiting thousands of feet below. This vital route stretches 155 miles through rugged mountains, making every journey extremely stressful. The local geology is incredibly unstable because cliff sides frequently collapse naturally, causing many tragic accidents. Many sections remain primitive dirt paths full of potholes without protective railings, even while sitting right beside deep abysses. Local authorities have issued a strict ban on all vehicles traveling at night to limit the risk of falling into the abyss. Every trip along this road is truly a survival gamble, as drivers must constantly face the persistent fear of landslides. Zojila appears as a deadly cut across the Himalayan range, which is known as a gateway that challenges the survival limits of humans. This dangerous road is situated at an elevation of 11,575 feet above sea level, which creates a real obsession for any driver. The vertical cliffs, along with abysses thousands of feet deep, make the road unsteady and narrow to the point where two large vehicles almost cannot pass each other. Every harsh winter, millions of tons of snow cover the road surface, which forces construction units to work continuously to maintain the life of the route. Fairy Meadows Road is a deadly road famous worldwide for its dangerous path hanging on steep cliffs. This 16 miles journey requires drivers to have skillful techniques to control vehicles on the narrow dirt road. The total absence of safety barriers along cliffs that are thousands of feet high creates a survival challenge for visitors. The road surface consists of gravel and clay that easily slides, making every meter of movement on the road a real gamble. Unstable geological structures make building concrete retaining walls an impossible task for construction engineers. Van Zil's Pass is one of the most dangerous one-way off-road driving routes on the planet, with steep cliffs and wild, deep gorges. This remote track challenges every survival limit of drivers because the terrain has absolutely no intervention from modern engineers. People are forced to travel in a fixed direction due to a maximum slope of 24%, which makes turning around physically impossible. Along the entire length of more than 9 miles of treacherous terrain, psychological pressure weighs heavily on drivers when the distance from the wheels to the abyss is measured only in inches. A spotter, walking in front of the vehicle, is mandatory to guide every single tire placement to avoid fatal roll accidents. Los Caracoles Pass is one of the most dangerous road routes on the planet that challenges every limit of heavy vehicle drivers on the Andes mountain range. This route possesses dozens of consecutive hairpin turns, winding on steep mountain slopes without any protective guardrails. The altitude of the pass reaches more than 10,400 feet above sea level, creating low air pressure that causes great difficulty for internal combustion engines. The road system is designed so narrowly that large trucks frequently have to encroach into the opposite lane to have enough space to make turns. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway is recognized as the most dangerous road in the world due to its extremely harsh terrain and countless life-threatening risks. This route passes through 14 mountains, reaching heights over 16,000 feet, where steep cliffs sit right next to abyssal depths of thousands of feet. Traveling here requires excellent handling skills because the paved surface frequently cracks and collapses under the pressure of constant massive rock slides. This road system forces vehicles to navigate hairpin turns with extremely narrow radii, where large, heavy trucks must steer multiple times to pass. Sections following deep canyons completely lack guardrails, which turns every journey into a brutal struggle for survival against the fierce natural landscape. Maintenance work here consumes enormous resources due to geological destruction, making this route a symbol of ultimate challenges for humanity. The Guoliang Tunnel is one of the most perilous roads on the planet because it was entirely carved by hand into a sheer cliff face. This zigzagging structure was constructed by 13 brave farmers who manually hollowed out the mountain over 5 long years. They only used steel chisels and 12-pound hammers to confront the incredibly dense and hard limestone walls. This rough route, measuring 0.75 miles, possesses a cramped space that challenges all driving skills. The tunnel interior spans barely 13 feet wide, which makes it extremely easy for two opposing vehicles to collide. A system of 30 window openings without any guardrails opens directly to a deep abyss ready to swallow any mistake. Traveling through this area is a breathtaking survival challenge because the rugged cobblestone road surface is very slippery. Any faulty steering maneuver on this deadly pathway will instantly send the vehicle plummeting straight down to the bottomless canyon. North Youngest Road is the most dangerous route on the planet, where vertical cliffs challenge every limit of road engineering. The route spans 43 miles with a surface width of only 10 feet, making every trip here a direct confrontation with death. Vehicles must face a drop of 6,500 feet nearby, while there is a complete lack of guardrails for driver safety. The combination of unstable geological structures and waterfalls flowing directly onto the road has turned this place into a terrifying nightmare. Once the only main artery, the road witnessed hundreds of tragic accidents before being replaced by a more modern route. Rows of crosses placed along the mountain walls serve as a reminder of nature's harshness toward human ambition for conquest. The Karakoram Highway is known as the eighth wonder of the world, which is the highest international road on the planet filled with extreme dangers. Stretching more than 800 miles across rugged mountain ranges, This route proves the persistence of overcoming every harsh geographical limit. Thousands of workers sacrificed their lives during the construction process that lasted for decades to create this vital artery through stone cliffs. At the highest point, reaching 15,397 feet, drivers must face the haunting fear of roads without any protective barriers. The constant risk of landslides makes the geological structure change continuously, turning the journey to conquer this place into a life and death adventure. Every vehicle must pass sharp curves right next to the deep abyss, where only a small mistake can lead to a tragic end. The Trollsteigen mountain pass challenges all human survival limits by possessing a steep vertical slope of up to 10%, full of intense pressure. Stretching across this highly perilous journey are 11 extremely sharp hairpin turns, clinging tightly to the dangerous and sheer cliffs. The road width in many sections is narrow to an extreme degree, causing the rear of large vehicles to edge right on the brink of the deep abyss. This unique route cuts directly across a massive waterfall, dropping from a height of over 1,000 feet, creating water mist that completely destroys visibility. Rock blocks weighing hundreds of pounds can unexpectedly detach from the fractured cliffside and then free fall down onto the roofs of moving vehicles. Due to the dangerous terrain structure, the government is forced to completely close the road for many consecutive months for geological rescue operations. Drivers are strictly required to use engine braking techniques with low gears to restrain heavy vehicles weighing tons from plunging into the fierce abyss. Rotang Pass is known as a deadly route with a terrifying name that means heap of dead bodies in the local language. Sitting at an elevation of 13,050 feet above sea level, this place challenges professional driving skills with constant landslides. Vertical cliffs, located right next to the road edge without guardrails, make anyone looking down feel extreme fear. Although it is a vital traffic artery, this route is frequently completely cut off by thick snow covering it throughout the winter. Engineers have had to work hard to implement complex architectural projects to try to maintain the road surface against harsh natural destruction. Any small mistake while operating vehicles on narrow sections can lead to a tragic outcome of falling into the deep abyss. "24 Zig Road" is not merely a path, it is a military engineering masterpiece, carved directly into the surface of a sheer cliff. The most unique feature lies in the road surface design, which is only 10 feet wide, where every curve is calculated precisely to maximize the heavy cargo transport capacity. The combination of manual stone masonry techniques and steep terrain has turned this place into a vivid testament to the human ability to overcome natural limits. The surrounding geological structure is extremely complex, with cliffs that always hold risks of landslides, creating a harsh survival environment for any vehicle moving through. The entire natural drainage system is cleverly integrated into the dry stone walls, which helps the road avoid serious erosion from heavy rains. Until now, this route still maintains its original state, challenging the courage of anyone who wants to explore the most dangerous roads in the world. Kabul-Jalalabad Highway in Afghanistan is a deadly transportation artery where towering cliffs block visibility and challenge every vehicle crossing the route. highway stretches about 93 miles and contains countless sharp bends, forcing drivers to maintain intense concentration throughout the difficult journey. Unstable canyon terrain frequently experiences rock slides that alter road conditions unpredictably, creating challenges similar to those found on Stelvio Pass. Old, abandoned vehicles scattered beside the road stand as silent reminders of the harsh journey where danger constantly waits ahead. Traveling along the narrow roadway requires exceptional driving skill because even a minor mistake can send a vehicle into a deep abyss. Brightly decorated trucks carrying hopes of safe passage have become vibrant symbols against the muted brown and grey mountain landscape. This route remains economically essential for the region, even though danger continues to surround travelers crossing its steep and rugged terrain. Taroko Gorge Road on Taiwan Island is a masterpiece carved into marble cliffs, connecting remote regions and reducing travel times from weeks to only hours. Narrow road sections cling to vertical rock faces, creating extreme difficulty where the distance between vehicles and deep drop-offs measures only inches. The gorge contains marble walls rising about 3,300 feet high, forming towering barriers that often block sunlight above. The canyon beneath portions of the route reaches depths of about 1,600 feet, enough to contain the Eiffel Tower within it. Marble formations here were compressed under immense pressure for millions of years, creating a solid foundation for this mountain transportation system. Tianmen Mountain Road in Hunan Province, China, is one of the world's greatest mountain roads, where breathtaking curves are carved into towering cliffs. Each bend was engineered with exceptional precision and extremely narrow margins, where errors of only a few inches could create serious consequences. Stone retaining walls, reinforced by hand over thousands of days, have proven remarkably durable, often outlasting many modern concrete barriers. The road is more than a transportation route, serving as a symbol of determination and humanity's ability to master some of the harshest terrain. The contrast between dark pavement and deep green forests creates a powerful visual effect, turning the journey into an unforgettable experience. Kolyma Highway stretches across Russia's Far East like a brutal scar cutting through vast and desolate taiga forests. Tens of thousands of prisoners were buried directly beneath the roadbed, turning every mile of the route into an extended memorial. Permafrost beneath the highway constantly shifts and deforms, leaving the roadway cracked, twisted, and unstable through changing seasons. Tens of millions of cubic feet of earth and rock were moved by hand to build the road, enough to fill more than 400 Olympic swimming pools. Abandoned freight trucks scattered along the route form a long, metallic barrier, reminding travelers of the harsh reality of crossing the wilderness. Average travel speeds on the worst sections reach only about 9 miles per hour, slower than the running pace of elite athletes. Skipper's Canyon Road in Otago, New Zealand, is a deadly, handmade engineering masterpiece where miners risked their lives for 7 years carving through cliffs. The route clings to fragile schist cliffs, creating a narrow roadway with sharp bends that demand absolute concentration from vehicle operators. Many rental car companies flatly refuse insurance coverage for drivers using this route because the risks can lead to severe consequences. Over time, the schist formations have eroded, creating dangerous overhanging rocks suspended above the narrow mountainside roadway. The road preserves hand-built stone retaining walls from the 19th century, enduring as a stronger testament than many modern concrete barriers. Successfully crossing this hazardous route is often regarded as a test of driving courage within a remote landscape isolated from the outside world.